What is good, group number one? For those of you who are drawn to the first image, this is going to be y'all's reading today. We're going to be getting some messages on what should you be doing more of and what should you be doing less of. I've never done this topic before, but it kind of came to me um, as I was headed to my spot here that I usually do my readings, um, and it just kind of came to me. So I'm gonna see what messages want to come through for y'all. I kind of don't know how I want to do it. Should I just pull cards, or do you want me to do one before the other? uh, okay, Spirit said pull cards, and I'll just be intuitively led to know what should be more of and what should be less of. Mm, I kind of want a little bit more structure though, Spirit. Can I get um, what should the collective be doing more of right now? For group number one, what should they be doing more of? What should collective be doing more of? Something about celebratory. I'm hearing celebratory. So, celebrate your wins right now. I feel like is what you should be doing more of. Even the smallest win, celebrate that. You know, if you're, let's say, for instance, you're on a weight loss journey or something like that, and you lost 1 pound, celebrate that. Like that is what I'm picking up is that moves energy, because a lot of our manifestations are linked to our beliefs, and it's also linked to our emotions, our feelings, how we're feeling about ourselves, how we're feeling about a certain situation, environment, whatever that may be. Um, so when we celebrate ourselves and we find that joy, that happiness, um, that that builds on that momentum. It's like a snowball going down a snow hill. It may start off really small, but as it builds up momentum, going down the hill, it gets more traction, more snow added onto it, and eventually it becomes this bigger snowball. At least that's how it is in the movies. I've never seen one in person, but um, that's just kind of the image I'm seeing. Um, But yeah, there's something about celebrating your wins, smallest ones, big ones, whatever that may look like for you. You finished um, a project at work early, or even if it wasn't early, even if it was late, you know, you did it, you finished it, you got it done. Celebrate that for yourself. Because I feel like many of you, you're not celebrating yourself as much as you should. Some of you may be waiting for other people to celebrate you, for other people to recognize you, other people to, you know, um, show you appreciation. And that's fine and dandy and all, but you have to do that for yourself. You got to sometimes be your own cheerleader. Um, again, sometimes you may want that reassurance from other people, but sometimes other people just may not give it to us, and that's fine. So you have to find that within yourself. You have to celebrate that yourself. Or if you have like a small group of friends or something, celebrate with your friends. Be like, hey girls, I'm down 1 pound. Let's go get tequila shots. So yeah, there's I love tequila. Let me stop. Um, but like, again, just celebrate yourself right now. I feel like that's really what you should be doing more of. Is there anything else that they should be doing more of for group number one? Anything else? Yeah, Knight of Wands talks about energy, momentum. Um, so there's something that you're wanting to attract for yourself, something that you're wanting to call in. There's a certain goal that you may have in mind, in whatever area of your life that this may resonate with. Um, but there's a need to do things to add on to that momentum. Even if this is like spell work, when you're doing spell work, casting, and root work and conjuring and things like that, you have to, part of it is also the follow through. You gotta, take certain actions to follow up on it. You're you do a spell for a new job, you got to put in applications. That's your follow through. Update your resume. That's your follow through. But that also adds on to the energy that keeps the momentum flowing and keeping it pushing. Um, if you're trying to think of another good example, um, if you're building a business, you know, adding on to the momentum may be, putting posts out there to, bring attention or market your business. It could be, even if it's something not that big, maybe you do something small, such as, add an extra detail to your website, or, um, sit and kind of plan something new or a different, idea. Even if it's just the smallest step, you're still needing to do things to increase that momentum and add on to that energy. Some of you are letting the energy kind of dip. That's what you should be doing less of, is just letting things just kind of dip and fade out. Some of you may have a habit of starting things and stopping things, and that should be what you're doing less of. Anything more about what they should be doing more of? 'Cause I feel like that's your biggest thing right now, is just taking certain actions to add on to the momentum of your manifestations that you're attracting, or your goals and visions that you are setting out for yourself. Excuse me. Um, Four of Pentacles. Excuse me. Um, so Four of Pentacles usually talks about like saving. Um, I'm hearing a rainy day. So maybe some of you financially, you should be doing more saving. And that's not to say that, you're gonna lose something or lose a job or anything like that, to where you'll be having to pull on your savings. But there may be something, maybe down the line, that you may have to pull from your savings. There could be some sort of emergency or something that you may have to pull from this. Or this could also be a part of that energy momentum. Maybe you're wanting to, call in more money and more financial abundance into your life. So maybe there's a need to have a better relationship with money. Four is definitely a very balanced number to me. Stability is significant here. So maybe there's a need to, again, have a better relationship with money. Maybe you're holding on to money too much, and you may need to kind of spend more money. Or maybe you're spending too much money and you need to save up. So it's all about balance here. Um, I'm definitely not one to come to like, if you ask, like, should I buy this and that? My answer as a friend is going to be, treat yourself. If you're a Parks and Rec fan, you already know what's up. But treat yourself. That's my motto. But again, when if you know that you're overspending, you're doing too much with your money, you may need to reel it in a little bit. I know. We want to spend, we want that food, and that's not denying you any of your pleasures or any of the things that you like and want in your life. But again, sometimes sometimes we may just be overspending or underspending, and we're not allowing that energy of money to flow the way that it's meant to. So take what resonates. If you feel like you're overspending, save a little bit more. If you feel like you're underspending, spend a little bit more. And spending doesn't necessarily always have to be, spending money on something. Sometimes spending can be tipping. Um, One of my favorite things to do, especially when it comes to like my money bowls and things like that. I love to take like money out of my money bowl and use that money to tip people, or if I see, like a homeless person or somebody on the, they be on the corners and the streets and something, that's the money that I would usually give to them. Um, for me, that works tremendously. That's always giving back to the universe, and that money always comes back to me times 10. Um, so I don't know, some of you may want to implement that as well. Anything that they should be doing, Queen of Wands, I'm sorry. So more of also is um attracting. It's a lot of dog hair. Attracting or sitting in your abundant energy and allowing yourself to attract the things that you want. So anything that they should be doing less of right now, if anything they should be doing less of. Okay, so you got the strength card and then you got the 10 of pentacles. So one thing I feel like you could be doing a little bit less of is feeling like you have to take care of everything on your own. Many of you, I feel like, are very independent. Some of you may be hyper independent. But there's a need for you to stop taking on everything by yourself. I'm drawn to how she has a companion in this picture. Of course, she kind of more so conquered the lion, um, but now it kind of comes off as if they're like companions. And then in the picture here, this is like a family here. So what I'm getting is that there is support around you that you may be underutilizing, maybe support, resources, whether it's family, friends. I'm also getting like government assistance, maybe with this 10 of Pentacles, community assistance. There may be some resources within your community that you can be, utilizing that you're not utilizing. I don't know, because I with strength card here, this could be an energy of like pride. Maybe some of you have, a big ego, or maybe you're very prideful and you feel like, oh, I don't need that. I don't need food stamps. I don't need this government assistance. I don't need to reach out to my family for anything. Many of you, you're stuck in your pride and your ego right now, and you are underutilizing the resources and the support and the connections that you have around you. So what you should be doing less of is being so hyper independent, and what you should be doing more of is allowing other people to support you and help you for whatever you need. Many of you, you need to open up your mouth and and ask for help and support when you need it. You got the 5 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So it's almost like self betrayal. um yeah, there's a bit of a energy of pride here. I'm drawing on the picture here how she has this like smug smile on her face. And you know, I feel like for you, group number one, for the most part, you can handle many things by yourself on your own. You don't need help or support, and that's fine. But there seems to be a heart chakra blockage. There seems to be this blockage of, okay, because your heart chakra is also connected to your money as well. Um, so if your heart chakra is blocked, then your money's going to be blocked. I mean, same with your root as well, but definitely your heart chakra, when that's blocked, it blocks that movement and flow from your upper chakras and your lower chakras. Um, so when that's blocked, it's everything else is blocked. Um, So there may be a need here for you to, because the heart chakra is about your being able to both give and receive love equally and balanced. Um, we were talking about that when it came to like your money. Some of you may not have a good balance when it comes to like your money or spending. Um, so work on that. Um, I like a good like sometimes when I'm feeling a little bit blocked, regarding my heart chakra, I may light a green candle and I may sit with that green candle and I kind of envision my heart in covered in ice, and as the candle is burning, that ice is thawing off of my heart. Um, so that can be something that you could do. Um, maybe like a melting spell, also. Maybe an uncrossing could be significant here. Because sometimes people can do spell work to cross your heart up. So I mean, you may have to get a reading to see if that's the case for you. Um, but yeah, there may be definitely some heart chakra expansions that you're going through right now. And you can be tested right now. You may have a lot of strangers coming up to you, people who are wanting to actually talk to you more, opportunities for you to talk to people, get to know other people, meeting new strangers, things like that. You can be experiencing a lot of that right now. That's test from the universe to be like, okay, are you open to new connections or are you still closed off? Um, so take what resonates there, especially if you're like in a grocery store or something and somebody just stops to have like a little conversation with you, or somebody may hold a little extra eye contact with you. That don't mean they want to fuck you or anything, but that could, that person may want to build connection with you. Um, again, take what resonates here. So just be open to new opportunities. Do less of being so closed off and do more of being more open and allowing, the energy to flow in your life. There's a little bit of blockage here when it comes to that. All right, so group number one, I believe these are all the messages that I'm seeing for y'all. So let me know how this reading resonates for you in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Y'all stay well, stay blessed, and I will see you all in my next reading. Peace out. What is good, group number two? For those of you who are drawn to the second image, this is going to be y'all's reading today. We're going to be getting messages on what should you be doing more of, and uh what should you oh my gosh, what should you be doing more of, and what should you be doing less of? And I'm not going to edit that out. I don't feel like it. All right, so this is for group number two, spirit team. Group number two. What should they be doing more of, and what should they be doing less of? So starting off with more of, what should group number two be doing more of? Something about gratitude can be very significant for you. Maybe showing more gratitude, maybe a gratitude journal, showing just more gratitude for what you have already before you receive more. But more gratitude is very significant for this group. If you are into like ancestor veneration, or if you work with certain like deities or spirits, um, you can be doing a little bit more of making sure like your spiritual upkeep is up to par, your spiritual hygiene is up to par, your protections, cleansing is very significant for this group here also. Some of you may have been slacking a little bit on that. Y'all should be, especially this group, I feel like you have a really big calling in this lifetime. So learning how to keep up with your daily cleanses now your protections now is going to be very, very helpful for you later on. But definitely keeping up with your spiritual hygiene is what you should be doing a lot more of right now. Cleaning can be very significant, making sure like your environment is clean, your home is clean, your car is clean. A lot of people really underlook cleanliness. Cleanliness is next to godliness, as the church folks used to say. But spiritual hygiene for sure, and cleaning. Clutter, if you have any clutter around your home, clean that up. I'm seeing like a pile of clothes. Ooh, I'm seeing my pile of clothes. Okay, you don't have to call me out like that, Spirit. So I guess this message is for me as well. I did laundry yesterday, and usually I'll go ahead and put it up, but I don't know, something about it this week itself has just been very draining. So I don't know if some of you may have been feeling very exhausted lately, very tired lately, even if you've getting a lot of sleep. I'm not sure what's going on astrologically, but I've been so tired. But this is a great time also again to keep up with your cleansing yourself energetically. Something about an egg cleanse can be somebody or can be significant for somebody here. I love a good indigo water. It's my favorite. Camphor is very great for cleansing. Okay. Anything that else that they should be doing more of? Yeah, the tower definitely again a lot more spiritual upkeep here. Um, you got the tower with the seven of cups, so this feels like getting more clear mentally by practicing more mindfulness is very significant for you. Some of you with this tower energy could be going through a bit of a ascension or like a spiritual awakening of some sort here. So mindfulness, I always preach mindfulness is very, very important when you are going through certain ascensions or you're going through these spiritual level ups, because I feel like that's what's going on for you right now. You're leveling up spiritually. Something about your crown chakra is very significant. I'm seeing somebody with the literal crown on their head. So uh, like you're being crowned, or somebody could be being crowned. What is that? Like Ifa, Yoruba, like those who work with like the Orishas. I don't know too much about that. I would love to learn a little bit more about it. Um, I'm not an initiate or anything. I don't even know how that works. But um, yeah, something about somebody could be getting crowned um, within those like religions. But this feels more, again, for most of you here, this feels like a level up spiritually, like your gifts are getting more sharper. Your gifts are getting, you're gaining a lot more clarity regarding what gifts you have. Because it's not just, I'm clairvoyant or I'm clairaudient, clairsentient. Those are very like basic clairs, but there's hundreds, if not thousands, of different spiritual gifts that a person can hold and possess. And you're just getting clearer on what spiritual gifts you have. You have more than one. You have many, actually. I'm getting number seven. You have um, many spiritual gifts and talents, and they're kind of waking up right now. And that's why you're going through this bit of a spiritual ascension at this time. Um, so, as you're going through this ascension, it's very, very important, imperative that you um, gain more clarity through mindfulness practice, whether that's meditation, um, gardening, um, um, painting, coloring. I don't know, whatever. There's hundreds of different mindfulness practices that you can follow. Um, there's many tools or ways to get there. Um, so definitely doing more mindfulness right now as you're going through this ascension process. Getting a little bit more rest at this time also, and finding more joy in the midst of all of this chaos. This doesn't feel like an internal chaos. This feels more of external chaos. You may have a lot going on around you. I mean, of course, we have a lot going on in the world. We have a lot going on in politics, in the country. It's a lot going on. But finding joy in the midst of all of that is going to be a very powerful tool for you. I've got joy, joy, joy in my soul. Joy, joy, joy. Um, what should they be doing less of? Because I feel like you're doing a great job already at whatever you got going on. You're doing a great job already. Again, I just feel like for the most part, for your group, it's mostly just mindfulness, more gratitude, and more joy in the moment to help you best, to help you land more stable whenever this spiritual awakening is kind of done. This one, at least, you're gonna have many more down the line. All of us do, but at least this specific spiritual awakening, what should they be doing less of? Oh, excuse me. Definitely be getting a little bit more rest. If you need to take off of work, take off of work. If you need to put that PTO in, baby, put in that PTO. Even if it's just a day, take that day off. Some of you may need to take more time off of work. You may be overworking yourself, overburdening yourself. Some of you may already be overworked or underpaid. Why not go ahead and just take off? What should they be doing less of? Yeah, Six of Wands. Less of holding yourself to super high standards and expectations, and realizing and recognizing that you are a human being. Um, you get tired, you get overwhelmed, you get exhausted from things. You sometimes get sad, sometimes you get mad, sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're glad. Dr. Seuss looking ass. So um definitely realize and recognize you are a human with a wide array of emotions. You have, sure, you have other responsibilities, but you also have a responsibility to yourself. And a lot of us, especially, as people of color, we're held to very high standards. A lot of those high standards are linked to, um, societal standards, familial standards, whatever that may be. And we grow into adults that we tend to be very hard on ourselves. Um, so don't be too hard on yourself. It's okay to have, standards and expectations that you have for yourself and even for others. But also recognizing and realizing that we're all human beings and you can only do so much, um, before you just burned out. So don't let yourself get to the point to where you're burned out. Take time to rest and rejuvenate and to, do nothing and to be a human being. Um, so do less of being hard on yourself. Um, yeah, do less of being hard on yourself right now. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay that something didn't get done. It's okay that you made a mistake 6 years ago and you're still thinking about it today. You know, that's okay. It's all right. You can feel those feelings, feel those emotions, analyze it, but let it go. There's a need, getting 666. So, that's more so about, letting go toxicity, letting go of resentment, letting go of things that no longer serve you. So do more of letting go and less of holding on. Anything else that they should be doing less of? Yeah, Eight of Swords here at the bottom of the deck. So definitely less of self imprisonment, um, less of being in victim mode or having that victim mindset, and realizing that you have everything that you need, excuse me, to move forward, to be successful, um, and to have the life that you feel like you deserve and you're worthy of. You have Ace of Cups that came out. Maybe do less of pouring into other people's cups and do more of pouring into your cup. Um, it doesn't necessarily give people pleasing, it gives just more, again, like obligation and expectation. Do less of that and do more of pouring into your own cup right now. I don't think I have to reiterate that anymore. That it feels like a very straightforward message. So group number, what group is this? Group two, right? Yeah, group two. Yeah. So group two, I believe these are all the messages that I'm seeing for y'all. So let me know how this reading resonates for you, in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Y'all stay well, stay blessed, and I will see you all in my next reading. Peace out. What is good? Group number three, last but not least, for those of you who are drawn to the third image, excuse me, this is going to be y'all's reading today. We're going to be getting some Oh, I just bit my jaw. Sorry. We're gonna be getting some messages, and I'm not gonna edit it out. I don't feel like it. Messages on what should you be doing more of, and what should you be doing less of. Why did I bite my jaw? Shit. Okay. All right. So starting off, Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. I'm getting two things with the Knight of Cups. First thing I'm getting heavy Pisces energy altogether. But the first thing I'm getting is creativity. So you should be doing more creative things or maybe more creative projects or hobbies. This doesn't feel necessarily like, like making a business out of it or anything like that. This feels more of like fun time. Like you should be having a little bit more fun, being more playful at this time right now. You maybe, head in the books or at work, or, taking on a lot of responsibilities right now, um, adulting really hard at this time, which is normal. We all are right now, but there's a need for you to have more fun right now. That's what you're being called to do, is have more fun, make more time out to have fun. Um, Fun doesn't always have to be spending money. You don't have to spend money all the time. Most parks are free. Um, what is it? Parks, there's community resources, there's community events around. Um, or even if there were some things that you used to like to do when you were younger that you consider fun, do more of that. But there's again a strong need for you to have more fun right now, and also with creativity. Maybe you should be creating more. Maybe even if you're not a good like artist or anything like that, excuse me. Um, you may, excuse me, you may, want to get like a canvas and some paint and just do some random shit on the canvas. Um, or maybe creative writing for somebody here. Doesn't necessarily be you have to write a book or anything, but you can just, sit pen and paper or with a laptop or whatnot and just write, whatever comes to mind. Just make up your own story, or maybe a story about, your life, or maybe just write about, things that you're going through right now, kind of like a diary or journal or something. Um, but that seems to be very significant for you. But again, this feels overall more of like fun. Just have a little bit more fun right now. What was the second thing? Pisces energy. I'm getting dream bigger. Neptune energy is usually very like dreams and illusions and things like that, but it has a very positive side to it also, Um, so kind of tap something about your inner child or your inner teenager here with the night energy here could be very significant for you. Um, but again, something about dreaming bigger. You may have certain dreams, aspirations, goals, visions that you have for yourself in life. Um, and your spirit guides are like you're thinking too small right now. And there's a need for you to think like a little bit bigger. You know, this kind of like the example that I have is like, maybe you're only manifesting $20 or $50, something like that. But why can't you manifest $10,000? Why can't you manifest $50,000? Why can't you? What's stopping you? Your beliefs, because that's a big portion of magic and spell work is your beliefs, your intentions for sure, but beliefs also. Um, but definitely again, dream bigger, want bigger for yourself, very get more clearer on your goals. You have the Ace of Swords underneath the deck, underneath the Knight of Cups, and then you have the Page of Swords underneath the Ace of Swords. So again, it's like getting clearer on what you're wanting out of life, what you're wanting out of your career, out of your love life. Get more clearer so you can align better with this lover's energy. You're not fully in alignment with something because you're not clear on what exactly you want. I feel like some of you may think you know what you want, but you don't actually fully know. And it's funny that, your message is coming out like this, and we're currently at the time that we're recording in a Pluto retrograde. Pluto retrograde is definitely a time of like, transformation, but also like a lot of reflection on like, am I really where I want to be? Is this where I want to be? Where do I want to be? Like, what do I want? What do I not want? So it's definitely a time of like self reflection to, again, like get clearer on, you know, where you want to be and what you want for yourself. Because I feel like for many of you here, you're dreaming too small. Um, you know, you're looking at starting a podcast, but why can't you have a talk show? Why can't you? Um, you're wanting a business to just be able to cover your bills. Why can't you have multiple businesses and not have to worry about your bills? And you got more than enough money to do whatever the hell else you want to do. Why can't you? So some of you are just kind of dreaming a little bit too small. You're being more delusional about um not necessarily delusional. Or yeah, you're being delusional about your dreams, but not necessarily in a negative way, but more so in like you can be asking for more. You can be doing more. You can want more. It's okay for you to want more. And I feel like that's going to be your lesson during this Pluto retrograde is you discovering and learning what you want more of. Sorry, I just got a little distracted. I'm over here. It's a little hiking trail over here, but look like a fire just started, or somebody just started a fire. Bitch, what the fuck? Let me mind my business. Okay, what should you be doing less of? Oh my gosh. With all these billionaires on this planet, nobody should be homeless. That's such a shame. What should group number three should be what should group number three be doing less of right now? Why is that? Is this more is that more of an internal or external energy? And if external, then who? I keep on getting distracted. I'm so sorry, y'all. You got the Four of Swords, the Five of Wands, and then the Six of Pentacles. So one message I'm getting is oversharing. You may be oversharing with people right now, and you should not be. There's something about keeping things close to your chest. So do less of oversharing at this time. You can share with certain people, but be intuitive about who you're sharing with. 'Cause there may be some people and energies around that you should be a little bit more careful and cautious around, while other people around that is okay to kind of open up to a little bit. But it's going to be you have to be a little bit more discerning right now. There's not too much that you should be doing necessarily less of group number three. Um but definitely should be doing a little bit more of working on yourself and working on your dreams. I am so distracted by this, y'all. I am so sorry. But it's literally they just lit some trees on fire over here. That's crazy. Am I at a crime scene? Okay, bitch, calm down. All right, so less of you may be overthinking and over reflecting right now with this Four of Swords. Um, so you may be kind of called and asked to right now to kind of reel back in from your head and from your own mind, um, and spend a little bit more time maybe taking action versus sitting at the drawing board too long. Some of you just may be sitting at the drawing board way too long, maybe overthinking stuff. Um, and there may be again a need for you to maybe start taking a little bit more action. This doesn't feel like big action. This feels like very small steps. What is that song, Jordan Sparks? Dun 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 dun. Just take one step at a time. There's no need to rush. It's like learning to fly or falling in love. Yeah, I'm not getting much of what you should be doing less of. Um, yeah, this seems more of what you should be doing. Oh shit. uh, y'all see the fire truck? I told y'all I was not lying. Just let me get the fuck out of here. All right, sorry about that. Group number three. Um, the little firefighters came up behind me, and I had to see what was going on first. I had to be a little bit nosy. But what I was getting is what you should be doing. There's not really much that you should be doing necessarily less of. It's just more so of becoming a little bit more in alignment with with your dreams, visions, aspirations, goals, um, by taking little small steps here and there. It doesn't feel like big steps. This feels like small steps, and just not overthinking it. It's okay to reflect. It's okay to plan. But your mental health is more important. Um, so again, just take some time to, find that balance between resting, and also, planning and thinking things through and all that. Anything else, Spirit Team? Death card, you're definitely going through a really big rebirth right now. Lots of change at this time. Very inevitable change. The death card is like, with the tower card, sometimes you can dodge that bullet at times, but with the death card, you can't dodge it. This feels like, death is something that's inevitable. It happens, it's going to happen to every living organism around here. It's something that we all will have to experience in life. So death card represents like a inevitable change. Anything else, Spirit Team? I don't think so. Group number three, I believe these are all the messages that I'm seeing for y'all. So let me know how this reading resonates for you in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Y'all stay well, stay blessed, and I will see you all in my next reading. Peace out.